hottest wrestling podcast on the planet, Beyond the Barricade, with your hosts, Dollar Bill, the Cleaner, and the Brain. Let's get started.
Happy Monday, everybody! Welcome back to our little corner of the internet known as Beyond the Barricade.
And
Woo!
I just want to say that I appreciate taking off last week. I was winning a television title tournament in Rio de Janeiro. So
Nice,
thank you for allowing me to go over there.
Very nice.
yeah, very nice,
Congratulations.
very nice.
And since
So,
it happened in Rio de Janeiro, you won't know what happened that night. So you just have to take my word.
Will
oh, it's
do.
like Vegas.
Yeah, just like Pat Patterson.
Oh,
So you're now the new Intercontinental Champion.
Intercontinental Television 24/7 Hardcore Champion.
for how
Oh
long?
my goodness. Okay, R-Truth.
For how long?
Mm-hmm.
Until my creative control clause kicks in.
Next week, then. Okay.
So,
Yeah, swerve, bro.
yeah. So,
Announcements.
every once in a while, things start to get a little stagnant and you need to change things up a little bit. We've changed topics here and there. Sometimes we're talking WWE, sometimes we're talking AEW, sometimes we're talking independent. Last show and tonight we're talking about the ladies who have shaped the wrestling world. However, three people sometimes gets a little boring. So we've decided to add a fourth. And as of tonight, our new fourth host is none other than RPM.
Over there now. Over there now.
Welcome aboard, brother.
Thank you for having me aboard.
By the way, where
And
are you exactly?
Where am I?
Yeah.
On
Well, if you don't,
location.
he's in
it,
Bayonne.
I'm in Bayonne, New Jersey, but I'm at a place called OJ Max, formerly
Ah.
The Rock.
I know where that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give him a shout out for that.
and once again, we have Kush joining us.
What's up? What's up, Roddy, man? I'm glad to be back here again. Talking nothing but wrestling with you guys.
Our special correspondent.
Undercover because we can't see him.
Yeah. Do-do-do-do.
So
Yeah.
last time we
Okay.
spoke about the ladies who shaped the wrestling world in the beginning. Now we're getting into the current era.
Somebody's echoing.
So nice. You hear it twice.
Well, no, it's not me because I'm muted.
I think it's Kush.
This probably is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go into your settings and see if you can adjust the echo.
Well,
Change
it's
the speaker.
yeah. If you got like a headset, I'd recommend using those.
Although it's hilarious.
Yeah, very hilarious.
Yeah.
So, who wants to get started tonight?
Who's gonna win the coin toss?
A 5-way coin toss? Oh,
How about we do rock
Yeah.
paper scissors? And it's
we got our first we got our first one in the chat.
yep.
Ooh, that's a
That
good
would
one to
be
cover.
Dej, Machine Gun Dej.
Ah, that's a good one to cover. Who wants to cover that one?
Ooh, good suggestion to start.
Yeah,
we-
that's what I said.
How about we take that suggestion?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let me tell you
Okay.
something. Mickey James is definitely a woman who shaped the women's divisions of multiple companies.
Hell yeah.
She definitely she absolutely ruled WWE for a good portion of her career. And then she absolutely dominated TNA.
I would argue that her work in TNA was actually better than her work in WWE.
Oh, we wouldn't doubt it. We honestly wouldn't
In-ring
doubt it.
performance, absolutely. Character-wise, definitely better in WWE.
I would say better in TNA because those last year or so with Piggy James, that was very appalling.
But I'm talking about in the beginning
Well, and plus, right?
with the stalker bit that she was doing.
Oh, wasn't that
Stalker
with
slash
status?
super fan.
I mean, I like the whole edited out move from WrestleMania 22, where I think it's just like a normal atomic drop, and then she does the very
Uh-huh.
suggestive, and
Oh, yeah.
it's been edited out of pretty much all recopies of WrestleMania 22. But no,
I wonder if it's still on the network.
no, not that,
It's gone.
not that version.
They took that out.
Even in the immediate DVD release in 2006, they still took it out. But no, yeah. One of my favorite things though about her, I guess it's not from an official standpoint. The way she was running off at TNA the first time.
Hmm.
You guys know?
Looking it up. Yep.
She was thrown in front of a train by James Storm. And then that's how she was running off TNA to go back to WWE. And then she showed back up at TNA, and it's like, where'd you run over by a train?
Kayfabe.
Hey, brother.
Gotta love the kayfabe.
Yeah, man.
So
No doubt. She was definitely I was just always impressed with, and
hmm
I love her charisma. Like, God, she oozes charisma. Whenever she's a heel or a face.
yeah.
Like, yeah. And she was
And
also
again,
the time when
her in-ring work was absolutely phenomenal.
that was also during the Divas time in WWE, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is also gives a lot of good credit because remember during that time, how many people can you count who could really wrestle in that division before they kind of reverted back?
I mean, they were also not allowed to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's countless stories of Fit Finley specifically being the ones to show women how to wrestle, the women of the roster, and help bring them to a good wrestling standard, which was done away once he became a wrestler again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Totally
Yeah,
unbelievable.
The whole 2000s was just disgusting for women's wrestling.
Late 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say this: it was disgusting in WWE, but outside, it was really starting to flourish.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to argue that. That's definitely true.
Yeah, because even though in TNA you had the knockouts and they were sexy, they were still learning. They were still putting the
They were
time
still
into.
kicking each other's ass. Legit.
Yeah,
they had moves.
Yeah, it was a legit women's wrestling, and that's how Velvet Sky and Angelina Love have become so. They have a lot more credibility in the business because they were allowed to work with people like Tara, aka Victoria, Mickey James, Gail Kim, Awesome Kong. List goes on.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Which I just spoiled a bunch of names. Whoever wants to talk about one of those women, go ahead.
Oh, don't worry. It's like
we'll
a
get
sneak
to
preview.
We'll get
Sneak
to
peek.
All right, so I would say, hey, RPM, since you're the new guy on the block, who do you got in mind?
Well, the 90s. We're going to start with the 90s. The 90s wouldn't be influenced without Alundra Blaze / Medusa.
Yeah, infamous for a couple of reasons.
Infamous for a couple of reasons. First off, she started off in WCW, working with Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster.
Right.
And then eventually she made her way to WWE, where she became the new women's champion and had some pretty good feuds with people like Bertha Faye, and well, the lady that just got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, the one, the only. Anybody want to take it before I say it?
It's all
Say it.
yours, brother.
All yours, man.
Good, because I had to say a name.
Bull Nakano.
There you go.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm tired. I'm tired. Also had a long day. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So Bull Nakano, and then eventually, Eric Bischoff. Pretty much, I'm gonna say tricked her into going back to WCW, to where she discarded the women's title, because I believe WCW was trying to start their own women's division, with their own version of the WCW women's title, which I honestly don't remember ever seeing.
I do. If you play the WCW, I think it was in 2K22. If you play like the WCW brand in 2K mode or the GM mode, they actually have the actual WCW women's title. It's an ugly title, but
Oh,
they
God.
actually did have one. Because I remember the side plates looked like castles, but they also had like all the different flags on the side.
Yeah, I remember it very well, but it was just that I remember them actually having the title in WCW. Like I believe it was created, but they never used it.
I think it was only for like a year. It was a very short amount of time. That's
Yeah.
probably why you don't remember it.
Yeah, I watched WCW. I watched everything back in the 90s. I would literally be switching back and forth during commercials through both of them. And I never saw the women's title.
I got a picture of it up here with one of them. Oh, it says cruiserweight. I'm trying to find a regular one, but I see the cruiserweight so far. Cruiserweight, United States. There's a women's champion. Is that the one with the crown on the top of the head?
Hold on. Let me look up for an image. Yes.
Oh, God.
Share the picture, guys. Somebody share the picture.
Hold on. Where is he? Wait, what exactly? Oh, there it is. Let's see. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, there it is.
So 96, 97, yeah, I don't remember it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it
very
lasted such a short time, it didn't even matter.
yeah, because there was not a whole lot of major talent to go around.
No,
you had
it wasn't.
Alundra Braze, but who was she gonna face? You know, although I would have to argue she wasn't tricked into going. I don't believe she was tricked into going into WCW, but I do believe she was tricked in the trash incident.
Yeah. Okay. So I probably worded it wrong. I should have said that she was tricked into throwing the women's title into the club.
Yeah, no, I agree because everything I've heard from her, it did sound like she was tricked to do it. So I would agree with you there.
But I could say that without Alundra Blaze, there was no China. If I can say that.
Who WCW?
Well, I mean, Alundra Blaze in herself, like as popular as she was, and the way that she was manhandling men, you know, without Alundra Blaze, I would say that we no Sable and no China.
I want to throw something out there also about Alundra Blaze. Was that according to the quick Wikipedia search, she actually started in the late 80s.
She did.
Yeah.
In AWA.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, she had a short stint in AWA, and then she started working with Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, as Medusa.
Yep.
And
also, she's a two-sport athlete. She is a champion. I don't know if actually she's a champion, so don't call me that. but she was a very lengthy monster truck driver. She competed on the Monster Jam circuit, I think, with a truck named Medusa.
Yes. 2004.
I remember her doing it for a while. She was on the
Yeah.
circuit for a while.
Oh, it's the longest, second longest tenured female driver. It's just
Yeah.
I'm just saying which one. What year she won?
Okay, so yeah, she was a champion.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's a long
right.
career for her. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, you can kill that now. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
What do
Kush,
we got next?
Kush, who's your first choice?
Yeah, I agreed.
See, I got she was a wrestler and stuff, man, in the 80s and stuff, but I guess she cut that real short, heading to the 90s. But man, even without wrestling or anything, she definitely was one of the more famous women and stuff, man, that started in the 90s with a bang. She managed and stuff a lot of some of the best talent and Hall of Famers, like the likes of HBK, Macho Man, Randy Savage, heck, even in her time in WCW with Harlem Heat. I think you guys know exactly who I'm leading to, and it's none other than
Oh,
the
yeah.
one and only sensational Sherry.
Didn't we cover her
Now,
last week?
let me get this out here.
Go for it.
She is Queen Sensational Sister Sherry.
Yeah,
Right.
all those titles, man, in all three different towns.
Yeah, and we did cover
And
last.
she could hold her own with anybody
Yeah.
she can
except
definitely.
one person. And we talked about it last time.
Yes, we did because she was monumental in the '80s, but she was also monumental in the '90s.
Oh yeah, she
There's
definitely
only
have
one
kept
person
up some
she could
careers.
never hold her own against.
Also, 2000 with Kurt Angle.
Yes.
That's right.
He's
I'll
just
make
a
it-
sexy Kurt. Sexy Kurt.
He'll make
I'll
your
make
ankle
ankle hurt.
He'll make
I still remember watching that like as it was
That
airing
was
because
so freaking funny.
mind you,
I
remember
I was crying. I was laughing so hard at how funny it was.
I don't
SmackDown
even
was
think they
big back
rehearsed
then.
that either.
Nope.
Oh no,
No, hell no.
Kurt Angle, no.
No, Gary Angle, he just make anything, man, just seems funny and entertaining. He just knows how to do that. He has that kind of offbeat man persona about him.
Yeah.
He can have a milk truck. He can ride in a little beat scooter. He'll make anything
He
just
wear a
look
cowboy
funny
hat.
just by being him.
I love the milk truck, by the way. I love the milk truck. That was my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, that was great.
Oh, I
Yeah.
still remember watching that as it was like. That's like probably
Have-
one of my earliest like remembering wrestling, like watching it live.
Yeah.
That's one of the earliest moments.
Just hearing
But,
you say that you watched WWE actually kind of surprises me.
Well, mind you, remember the milk truck was WWF.
Yep.
Same
Although-
shit, different name.
Agreed.
Although I like the Wrestling Machine the best.
Mm.
Yeah, Wrestling Machine, you talking about in-ring ability, Wrestling Machine all day. Like he was more like a super curb man back in those days. But I always liked Kurt Angle, no matter what he was doing, no matter what era it was. He always bringing his A game in and outside the ring, on the mic. I mean, he was just as entertaining as he was good a wrestler, and that's saying a lot.
Mhm.
But Sensational Sherry, she knows how to hold her own. She knows how to slug it out with the best of them. And most of the men, you want to talk about China and all the women today, like Jade and all them, look like they can handle half of the man rosters. I feel like she's like almost practically one of the boys because she not only know how to take it, but she knows how to dish it. She knows how to even, get the respect, man, like a normal man would back in those days. Because back in the day, women were just jerking the curtain just to try to get any kind of match, any kind of notoriety. And it's hard for any woman back then to even get that without following the lead of the Fabulous Moolah.
Mhm.
What she did.
Yep.
Fabulous Moolah kicked her out, didn't face her none because she still went on and did her thing. Was having her match like y'all probably discussed, man, with the 80s, with her and Rockin' Robin back in the day. And she still went on ahead and became just as famous as any person or any manager back in that day, running roughshod and talking the talk and being being there. Her presence alone was just show you that how much she really had an impact in wrestling. set the standard about being
Oh,
a
God.
valet and manager.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just the thing about
She was a
Sherry.
trooper though too. I mean, even though
Yeah.
when Dark Side of the Ring was talking about her and about her son and stuff, and back in those days you couldn't have your kid with you while you were doing the business.
Yeah.
She was at least still good enough to have her watched by a great woman and stuff who treat her like her own and stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's kind of sad what's happened to the son though right there, but I'm not going to talk about that too much. But that's how driven she was, and I tip my hat to her that she had what it took,
Amen.
even to the end.
No doubt.
So I'm going to talk about one wrestling machine to another.
Okay.
Now, as Kush just brought up, maybe the late 90s for women's wrestling in the United States was not on par with what was going on in Japan.
All Japan.
All Japan women's wrestling, they were killing it. Going out every single night and just killing it. And the first name I really want to talk about when it comes to women's wrestling, especially in Japan, we started talking about her last week, or last time I should say, and I want to just bring up her again. It's a woman by the name of Minami Toyota.
Minami Toyota. That was my get.
Yeah.
That was mine, by the way. That was the one I was going to pick for tonight, by the way. I got to meet her.
Yes, that's right, and I'm so jealous because you want to talk about. She was. You had Mizawa, who was the number one guy in Japan, even though he at half of the 90s he probably was not working for the biggest company in Japan. But then you also had Toyota, who was the biggest woman in wrestling in Japan.
yeah.
And mind you, even though they were separate companies, they were still drawing just as good as the men. Maybe they weren't on the level of New Japan and All Japan, but the all women's Japan, they were drawing very good numbers. They might have not been doing the Tokyo Dome, but they were still doing the Budokan. They were still doing Ryogoku Sumo Hall, and she still to this day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her rating on Cage Match is 9.70.
And she's retired too.
She's been retired for about
Almost 10 years.
7 years now. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's been
okay.
retired, but she is. You could look her up, and you could find insane matches everywhere, and probably one that I would probably her biggest rival, somebody who might get called again tonight, but Aja Kong, her biggest rival. Just search up Minami Toyota versus Aja Kong, and there's several matches you could watch from them too, and they just every single time just light up, like just it's magic. So if you want to learn about women's wrestling, especially in Japan, Minami Toyota is absolutely someone to look out for.
Oh yeah, you gotta look at her matches. Like she's tremendous in the ring. I remember seeing her in the Joshi Mania thing that Chikara did a few years ago. That's where my exposure was. Then I did some more research and looked at a couple matches. God, it's like one of those things. It's like she's not talked about enough to me anyway.
Oh yeah, and it. Unfortunately, I mean, obviously she's very big in the Japanese wrestling community, but she's somebody that you wish that had more respect in a broader sense.
Yeah. Oh,
because man, you think like even if you look at like some of the girls today, especially the Japanese women, you think they're good. Man, Toyota was something else.
Yeah, that's basically find a match, just put in the chat room, be like, "What match to watch?" Gotta find that.
Yeah, anything. I would say anything versus Aja Kong.
What about Nagayo? It's like when they had that 15 minutes insane match going at it.
I mean, yeah,
she did
no,
some-
yeah, I could agree with that.
yeah, like that's one to watch. I said, I'm not saying it's the best, but it's definitely one you
Yeah.
definitely want to watch.
I mean, hell, anything with Manami Toyota is almost guaranteed to be a very good match. I mean, that's one of the things I love about the website Cage Match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually share it right now. Um, do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do. Boo.
So if you can see it,
Nope. Yep. Up. There we go.
there we go. Okay, so this is basically when you go to Cage Match, right? And you look up a wrestler, you go to career highlights, and they're gonna just show you a bunch of matches worth watching. You could probably choose any one of these matches, and it'll probably come up. Especially since I don't know who owns the rights to all Japan's women's, which is this logo right here. But yeah, these are. Look at how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just countless matches versus Aja Kong, and then obviously over here, Bull Nakano, who we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is if I don't think Japanese women's wrestling is taken as seriously today if it wasn't for this woman.
Kara Productions, yeah, you definitely got to check out some of the matches on YouTube. Like, there's some really good stuff out there
Yeah.
with her. I know you never heard of her, but there's a lot of moves she's also innovated.
Yes.
You want to keep in mind, like there's some moves she did first that people started doing here. I know one of them was a Toyota driver. I'm trying to think, what was that? What was that known here? Was that the Vertebreaker or the Crusher?
Match moves invented. I'm gonna actually look this up. So she, did stuff like,
I got another name for you guys.
Hold on,
Okay.
Oh, okay. Because we're almost done.
oh yeah. So she did stuff like it's called the Japanese Ocean Bomb, which is a straitjacket reverse power bomb.
Shit, I gotta look that up.
She also has something called the Japanese Ocean Cyclone Suplex, which is a straitjacket electric chair suplex pin, and that's listed as innovated. So she was the first person to do that. Victory Star Drop, which is a top rope body scissors backflip into a back-to-back kneeling pile driver.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing it. I'm looking at it right now. The
push.
Ocean Cyclone.
Okay, so yeah, the Cyclone Suplex.
Oh, I know that one in the WWE game. It's usually known as a Queen Bomb. Except this one had the Spiral addition to it, but it's the Queen Bomb. You'll see it in the game.
Oh wow. Okay, so the
Yeah.
first video that I saw is a Chikara video.
Right? Giggity. All right. Next. Here we go next.
All right. So my turn.
Okay.
And I'm stepping away from the major promotions.
Ooh.
I'm going indies.
Ooh.
And I'm going to the indies that we know and love.
Okay, shoot.
Not only did she shape indie pro wrestling for women, she is currently shaping the future of women's wrestling on the major circuit. None other than Sarah Del Rey.
Whoa. Yep. Good call.
Jersey All Pro Wrestling Women's Champion. Impact Zone Wrestling Women's Champion. Worked for Japanese promotion Arsion, founded by Aja Kong in 2002. She also worked in Mexico under the gimmick The American Angel, where she was a luchadora.
Whoa.
After which she moved on to Shimmer.
Mhm.
Shimmer.
Ooh,
I
hello.
regret not going to a show.
Hello, Missy.
I was thankful. I
Mhm.
was thankful to go to one of their last shows ever.
Yeah.
WrestleMania weekend 2019. They had a. They usually would always run WrestleMania weekend, and I'm so thankful I got to go to that show.
That good for you, man.
Yeah, Shimmer. For those that don't know, Shimmer. Um, so the thing with like women's wrestling in Japan, they've had their own promotions. Several non-existent anymore, but there are still several going today, and they've run big shows.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, those type of promotions haven't had the same success over here. But if you had to probably say the biggest all women's promotion, probably was Shimmer because they would always bring in such big names, and especially international
And
talent.
future big names, no less.
Yes, international talents that were getting their
Because
first matches in the United States.
I have Sarah's wiki page brought up,
Mhm.
Nice.
and I have something highlighted.
Okay.
She actually beat somebody that she works very closely with right now in WWE.
Albert? She beat Albert?
No, female. And this person was debuting at the time.
Got
Oh, Kana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Natty Neidhart.
Natty.
Yes, that's right, because Natty was actually a part of Shimmer's initial roster.
But yeah, but the four of us have all seen her in action in Jersey All Pro,
Multiple
Yes.
times.
and she can go. She could go.
Did I give her a steel chair at the Knights of Columbus show?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you did.
That's what I thought.
But I remember seeing her fight a lot of different people in Jersey All Pro. But the one she really had a problem with was, and I'm gonna go on my next one right off the bat, and then we'll go on from there. The one that was always giving her a problem because she was a knockoff Mickey James super fan stalker type,
Mm-hmm.
Roxy Cotton.
Mm.
You remember her?
Yes.
Roxy was legitimately a dollar store version of the Mickey James stalker character from WWE.
Roxy Cotton. Was that TNA?
No, that was Jersey All Pro.
You're digging a Roxy Laveau.
But yeah, Roxy Cotton, she literally, I swear to God, she could have been the love child of Mickey James and Christian
Oh shit.
because of the tantrums she would throw when she didn't get the results she wanted in the ring. It was absolutely hilarious.
Oh boy.
You don't remember you remember what I'm talking about, Bill. You were there a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think one time Sarah destroyed her in about 2.5 minutes.
God.
I think Roxy got in 1 or 2 punches, and then Sarah just went to town on her.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been because Sarah had another match somewhere later on in the night, and that was the first match of the night at Jersey All Pro.
Oh god. I'm trying to remember that fully.
But
You know my memory shot.
yeah, we're all our memories are shot. But yeah, Roxy Cotton and Sarah Del Rey definitely had some good matches. And there's a few others that I'm going to mention from Jersey All Pro that have gone on to have amazing careers. So, all right, let's see who's
Yeah, definitely.
Cleaner. You're up next.
Go ahead, Cleaner. Because
Oh, okay.
let's see. God,
Let's see. So if we're gonna talk, you know what? So she started in the '90s and then into the mid 2000s, and then she stepped away from wrestling for a while, but then came back to wrestling and did some stuff with the NWA, did some stuff with TNA, then known as Impact. So I feel like she's never really truly gotten her dues in wrestling. So I'm gonna bring her name up. Jazz.
Jazz, yes.
Jazz. Yep.
Bitch. Oh,
God.
so she
Oh,
started.
absolutely. She never got her due.
Yeah, I always remember watching her, and man, she could what made her. What I liked about her was that she would always hit hard, even for a bunch of women, that were in, that were still, divas, and they wouldn't run the ropes as hard, and they would only scratch and claw. Man, Jazz would fucking just come in there and just wreck people. And speaking about Sarah Del Rey, there's a match worth watching from Shine, actually. The Shine wrestling promotion, and Jazz faced off against Sarah Del Rey. But yeah, no, Jazz, I remember, I think one of her nicknames she called herself was like that bitch. Something along that, because I remember her saying that, in especially ECW. Because for some that don't even know, she actually originally started working with ECW. That was like her first real big break, and then obviously she signed with the WWF/WWE, worked with them for a while, so on and off, and then she pretty much finished up with like Impact, and wow, it actually does say in 2019 she was in the Casino Battle Royal in AEW at All Out.
Oh,
I actually don't remember that. But yeah,
in and out thing.
Yeah, because it was a one-time deal, I guess. But yeah, no, Jazz deserves way more flowers in pro wrestling.
Jazz was also. I still remember Jazz was one that was also hanging out the Acolytes in WWE, right?
No, I think you're thinking of Jacqueline.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jacqueline was with the Acolytes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My brain. You gotta remember, it's like my brain goes backwards. So thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, then Jazz, the other one. Okay, see,
Jazz, because I think she had a match with, if I remember right, I think she had a match with Trish Stratus at a WrestleMania in Seattle.
Was it 2002?
2003. I'm trying to find specifically.
I mean, they had a couple matches. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so it was there.
This Trish Stratus beat Victoria and Jazz.
Yep, I see the match. I have the match up. It's a SmackDown match.
Well, no, it was also WrestleMania.
I know. I said one of the matches I brought up is a.
Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood that.
And also, there's another one in Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah, and she actually won the women's title at the year before at WrestleMania 18. She defended against Lita and Trish in Toronto.
Wow.
So yeah, Jazz was a hard hitter, man. That's what I loved about her.
Absolutely.
I'll give you a spot. So this match just now, Jazz. Let's see. Jazz tosses Trish to the corner. Jazz goes running in. Trish kicks. Basically raises her foot up to kick Jazz. Stumbles a bit. So when Trish goes to tries to go approach her, Jazz just lays her out with her right hand, like just boom. Like,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, that's what I love. She always had that intensity. She never was like that diva type style. She was hard hitting, in your face, from her wrestling to her promos, and she had some really good music too. It's like it'd start off with like that saxophone, and then just like hard music. Somebody who was coming down to the ring wasn't somebody to fuck with.
Let's see. Yep, I'm watching this one. Let me see the Monday Night one too.
But yeah,
shit, she's built.
Who do we say is next?
Kush, you're up next.
Kush. And
I mean, I'm glad, man, y'all going through all these women and stuff here, because I did have that Jazz in mind for sure. Because man, she was definitely a rock star. She was just tough as nails, and definitely elevated the women's division, especially in WWE in her time, making them more tougher than ever. But another woman that I have in mind, we already mentioned just now, she definitely did her thing too, and she did a little bit before Jazz though, but I only known her for WWE, and that is none other than the ultra heavy hitting badass, straight out of Texas, and old Miss Jacqueline.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jacqueline, man, was something tough, and she didn't care about your stuff, and she'll knock you right on your butt. You can even hear, man, all the stories about her, especially from Farouk and Bradshaw, about just how fierce and tough she was. She was definitely respected and commended without even much saying a word, just by her actions in the ring. You want to talk about
the shit out of them once in a while.
Yeah, she'll beat their heads in too.
The shit out of them.
Yeah, because I'm needed sometimes, man, for being so stupid.
I just love it. Like they looked at her sometimes, and they were like, "Okay, shit." She would do
shit in the ring, and even they'd be like on Chris Tucker and Ice Cube and Friday.
Damn.
Yeah. I still remember that one. And mind you, this happened in it was one of those England exclusive pay-per-views, so we never got it over here. Yeah, I think it was Insurrection, and they did a spot. It was her and Sable, and for some reason she was just on the referee's. She was on his shoulders, like sitting on his shoulders for some reason, and obviously it was a loose shirt. Next thing you know, Sable pulls it off, and the crowd got a wonderful show.
Oh yeah, she has some puppies. You want to talk about puppies? She has some nice big chocolate ones on her. I mean,
yeah,
God, yeah. I mean, she was also an innovator too. I mean, I'll never forget back in Ruthless Wrestling era, where they actually had women somewhat kind of tease them wrestling man, and she did the same with Chavo, and Chavo thought he was tough shit, king shit with a cruiserweight title, and she beat him with his own father Chavo Classic there. That was amazing.
I was about to ask that. Yeah, she did. She won the cruiserweight title.
She sure did, man, and she held that thing for at least about a month or so, and it was good. I mean, just like how a certain woman did something, man. Women won a title outside of women's championship. She did the same thing there, which that's also something that they acknowledge in their Hall of Fame. But yeah, like I said, she was rough and tough, and she didn't take no mess, and she definitely helped men shape the women's division and make them more tougher, more something to see, because they were just wrestling just like divas the way Vince McMahon wanted. But Fit Finlay, guys like him, he made sure they wrestled like men. Tough and where it's believable.
Wrestled.
Yeah.
They didn't claw, they didn't scratch, they didn't bite, they didn't pull hair, they didn't rip people's clothes off.
No, none of that shit.
I hated it.
Straight up, man, one-on-one wrestling.
Asses.
It was good too. I mean, like I said, with her and other women and stuff around that time, which was Western era, it was great. It was great seeing them do that and have me invested. So my tip my hat, man, off to Jacqueline. She's definitely one of the top, man, tier standard wrestling females.
And
definitely
on record, I didn't never like the Braun Payne matches. Just saying it on record.
Who did? Other than
Jerry
people
Lawler.
under, besides Jerry Lawler, for boys under 18 years old, who
Yeah.
did like Braun Payne matches?
That's pretty much what it was for.
Probably.
Yeah.
What about the
Adolescents.
mud wrestling? The
Yeah, I
pillow
go to a
fights.
bar for that.
Once again, you can go to the bar for that.
I am.
Ah,
Ah. So it's like, it's like no point with those.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a
They
whole
were-
bunch of
they
more
were-
names.
Filler matches. Those were bathroom break matches. They were concession stand matches.
Yep.
yeah.
Because if you noticed, whenever one of those matches was going on, half the stands were empty because everybody was either in the bathroom or at the concession stands. Nobody wanted to see
Mhm.
it.
Would you say that still goes on today?
I'm sorry?
Would you say it still goes on today though? I always
Not mud wrestling. Not that.
No, I meant like
I
from
mean,
playing. Does people still consider that to be concession / bathroom / smoke whatever kind of match?
I mean, we haven't seen any
Um,
matches like that in a while, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh God, you are funny.
yeah, but
That's
look at
a-
his next
that's a fun-
comment. Not
Uh,
gonna lie, pretty fun in the video games.
Go
Go
here
play
comes the pain,
Rumble.
all that.
Go play Rumble Roses. Okay, there.
Yeah.
Enough said.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny though? There's a funny glitch. It's in. I don't know if it's an actual like you would consider it a glitch, but it's like I guess an oversight. If you play, I don't know if it's Here Comes the Plane or just shut your mouth. And if it's basically if you do a bra and panties match, and you set one of the women's finishers to the rock bottom, not the rock bottom, rather the people's elbow, and they don't have like elbow things, they'll take off their shirt. But then obviously since it's a bra and panties match, it's gonna lose the game.
If I was a glitch, it was one of those we didn't think of it in testing.
Yeah, it was like one of those oversights.
yeah. So
Play test has failed.
RPM.
I got 4
Go ahead.
names actually.
Pick one.
Oh, can I pick 2?
You brain? Then pick 2.
All right, so these 2 women
Okay.
are known for the beginning of the Out with the Divas and In with the Female Revolution.
Okay.
Soon, I know a number of graduations took place over the last couple of weeks.
One of them is on AEW,
It's already started, but
All right.
and the other one is retired.
real graduation prom night vibe.
Okay.
dedicated
The
to
first
young
name is
class of
Saraya.
2024, courtesy of the band Eat Six. In just
Wait,
AKA
that's Mariah?
you'll know in years
Paige.
you're gonna start
Yeah.
clutching your own diploma. You know.
And the other one?
Mhm.
AJ Lee.
Ooh.
Mm.
See, I would say AJ Lee was like before, but still was like that Mickey James, that shining light in a bunch of divas.
hmm
But the thing is, I feel that she was the main reason why this revolution happened, was because of people like AJ Lee and Paige getting tired of this diva movement, and they want to be known as actual women wrestlers.
Now I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Mercedes Moné or Money or whatever she calls herself, and barely a part of the NXT revolution for the women's movement. But I'm always gonna put Paige and AJ Lee in that department first, because without those 2, I don't feel the revolution would have ever. I think it would have happened eventually, but it wouldn't have been as prolific as it was now.
You know what? I
Okay.
can't argue with him on that. I
Yeah.
definitely have to agree.
No, I do agree on that.
Ah, same here.
because and I appreciate that because AJ Lee, fucking great technician in the ring, you know, and she was ahead of her time. Paige,
I oh
go
sorry.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, no,
I
no,
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say about AJ Lee. I loved her octopus finisher.
Oh yeah, the octopus stretch. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was definitely a great move.
it was unique.
And then Paige was what was one of the reasons why you always wondered who's the next female call up is going to be that challenge for the title. Because when Paige came and debuted, she won the Divas title right off the bat
Yep.
against AJ Lee, and then they eventually had a 2-on-2 match with the Bella Twins, and I believe they won that match too.
Damn.
Funny story about that. So obviously, I knew who Paige was from NXT. Because back then it was right as the network was starting. So if you wanted to watch NXT, you had to go to like Daily Motion and see somebody upload it to Daily Motion because it was only airing in fucking Florida. So I remember when she got called up, I was so fucking happy, this, that, and the other. Like I was really happy, got a little emotional. It was amazing. Then I remember AJ Lee had come back and they did a title switch in the exact same way with the Paige call up the night before I went to finally see Paige for the first time.
Ooh.
Because it was a Hartford Raw, like live Raw, and then they did the title switch as I was like painting a sign that said "Paige, marry me," and obviously, me thinking I had a fucking shot. And
Hey, you
because the
got your
funny
dream.
thing, yeah, and you know what
Buzzing.
the funny thing was, the next night, I had floor seats, so I was like, "Oh, is she going to show up?" And yeah, she showed up. She did commentary, and I remember as she's walking down, I had to sign up like, "Yee!" And mind you, I also had like, those paint mixing sticks.
Yep.
I attached that to my sign so it would be higher up. And yeah, and she like saw me and waved, and I was like, so I wouldn't shut up about it with it to my friend. I was like,
Nothing
oh
wrong
yeah,
with
that means yes. That means yes, she'd marry me. I could actually, you know what? I will actually, because I have evidence of this.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about your damn luck.
I gotta go to your photos.
What did I get us into? Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
No,
You know what?
it's fine, bro.
We have this is like a whole nother side to see how to show you how weird we actually are.
And that you actually watch WWE.
Yes, I
Come
did at
on,
one point.
No, come on.
He's not anti WWE
No.
per se. He just
Only
prefers
yeah. So this is the actual sign.
AEW. Nice.
Oh, I remember that sign.
Yep. And then because that's how close I was.
Wow.
And then yep, this is her. I took a picture of her, and you can see the title: "Caught the Bay Sleeping." Because she's doing a commentary. It's Eva Marie and AJ Lee, and then this was the other side of the sign.
Oh, that was you.
Yes, that's me. And then
Sans
I
beard.
think I was able to take a picture right next to the ring. This is before the show, but yeah, because this was from I think Cena had a main event. I think he was in the main event, like a dark main event that night. I don't remember.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, I brought that sign, and because all the rage was if Cena wins, we riot. So I was
Yeah, I
like, if
remember
Cena
that.
wins, I'll complain online.
I forgot which group I was in, but we caught that and we were like laughing.
Did Cena win?
I don't remember he actually wrestled that night. Let's see, WWE SmackDown, because this was actually the July 4th episode.
Mm.
July 4th, 2014. Oh, Ambrose and Orton. I don't remember them having a match. USA. Randy Orton. No, yeah, I don't think he wrestled unless it was on a dark match.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't usually list the dark matches.
Some will. Like if you go to
Sometimes
cage
they will.
match, cage match will. Let me look it up on cage match. But okay, yeah, who's next?
Dollar Bill.
Let me go through Care Productions list because he had a couple and that was like really interesting.
Oh yeah, he definitely had a couple of good ones on there.
I kind of trying to figure out. Because I think
Well,
honestly,
he's
when
got Michelle.
I was gonna say, it's gonna be cool. But I kind of want to touch about Phoenix because that was one of
The Glamazon.
Yeah, that was one of the ones
Yeah,
that when they had the whole Divas thing, which she was one of the standouts for me that just made me said, "Holy shiznit!" She's got beauty and brawn. Like what? And that finisher of hers, just holding high and just slamming.
oh
It's like
shit. Yeah.
Who? Wait,
The
Michelle
Glam
McCool?
Slam.
no.
No.
Oh,
Phoenix.
That's Phoenix.
that's-
The Glam
Yeah, it's one
Slam.
of best Phoenix. Yep.
because I was about to go on a rant there.
Michelle McCool.
Yeah, because I was going to be like, people say, don't get me wrong, she's a good wrestler and she's a very kind woman, but people say that AJ Styles, they took the faith breaker from Michelle McCool. No, it's the Styles Clash. She took it from Styles, and it was
Yeah.
they probably worked it out. Said, hey, you're good, because I'm probably never going to come to WWE. But
Famous last words.
yeah, famous last.
Exactly. I saw laughing when you said that. I was like, okay. You know, they say never say never.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what they
But-
also say? The best
that?
laid plans of mice and men.
They also say don't trust the fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also say
Ain't that the
fuck
truth?
Murphy. You know, Murphy's law is they say Murphy's law? Fuck Murphy.
Yeah, and every time somebody says fuck Murphy, Murphy fucks him right back.
Oh, I know. And no
So-
lube either,
With a sandpaper condom.
unfortunately.
In
Too rough.
the Sahara Desert.
Now the thing is also with Phoenix, I'm trying to remember what probably her biggest feud she had there. God. Do you have her in a cage match? Like
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, let's see what her biggest feud is. By the way, cage match sponsoring this whole place now. Just kidding.
Well, I
Biggest
definitely
rival,
won't-
me and John. I mean, me and Brain. Biggest rival.
Let's see. Did you get yes, rivals. So the only one, so they have a specific tab for rivals, and the only one they list is Mickey James.
Interesting.
And apparently it was also in OVW besides WWE. And they only list 3 matches.
Yeah.
Mickey gegen die Terraziken, Mickey schuckt die Glamazon, Trish und Mickey Weilbach Ledig Jungs. I thought
I know,
was
but
German.
your pseudo German accent wasn't too bad.
Mind you, remember, cage match is originally in German.
I
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess you could say maybe Mickey James, Eve Torres, I guess, or Natalia. A lot of history with Natalia.
we could definitely put in Natalia for that one then, because she's also one we could talk about.
Yeah,
But it's interesting. It's like you can see that that was a time when there weren't too many other people that could really put up like
go.
stand up with Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say?
Uh,
2003 was when things really was kind of moving away from some of the tough women and kind of went back to kind of diva like.
Yeah. Well, no, I would say like 07,
Okay,
08 ish.
yeah, I'm trying to remember the years, so I'm just
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like a lot of those like Victoria's, Mickey James, Jazz's, Trish's, Lita's, they started to retire or go to other companies. Then you got the Michelle McCool's, the Laylas, who are like they were good for that time period. But you put them against some of the other best. You put them against the women of TNA, and they would be exposed.
yes, that's the
Ye-
biggest thing I was mentioned. Exposed.
yeah, and then you had like the Natalia or
Nice.
not the Natalias, but the Bella twins, the who I'm trying to think of, the Funkadactyls. Like you had those
God.
women who tried to be good at wrestling, but they couldn't.
Hmm.
But they were models.
I was like models first, wrestlers
Kelly
second.
Kelly.
Yes, yeah. And but the thing was, I think the difference between that era and the Attitude Era is that the PG era women, even though they were divas, they were trying to be better wrestlers.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They were trying. They just weren't good. The
Because they
Attitude
weren't
Era,
getting the proper training.
yeah. And they were told to like scratch and claw and
They were told to
cat
fight
fight.
like girls.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I fully agree. But in the Attitude Era, they were just straight up eye candy. That's all they were.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And they were
No doubt.
okay with being eye candy.
And when you're
Yeah,
getting that kind of money to be eye candy, I
Yeah.
don't think anybody would be complaining.
Nope. Not at all.
But now they realize, oh shit, we could have done this and made more money.
Yes.
Yeah. Now who's the dope?
They'll never admit it. You know that.
Yeah.
They'll never admit it.
So who's
That is-
next?
You know what? I'm gonna go next.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go next.
All
And
right.
I'm going to bring somebody out who's currently having a very, very good run in AEW. But we know her from Jersey All Pro. The virtuosa, Diana Perazzo.
I would also list her as an ROH girl.
Oh, absolutely. She's definitely big time from ROH.
That's where
right
she
now,
got her like
she's
real big
doing some of
break.
her best work right now with AEW. And
I
her,
would say some of her. Oh, sorry for cutting you off. I
Okay.
apologize about that.
that's all right, no problem. Her feud right now with Thunder Rosa is top notch.
Mm.
And we lost Kush again.
I would argue her Impact stuff against the previously mentioned Mickey James, Trinity. Even against Trinity, she had a very good match. Against Jordan Grace, Giselle Shaw, Diana really killed it in TNA and really made
No
it.
doubt. But right now, she's having some very good work in E AEW.
I think that just proves the point that no matter where she goes, whatever situation she's given in, she's gonna make the best of it.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Good stuff.
So
And since we're talking about her, we'll talk about an opponent that she had in Jersey All Pro.
that injured her.
Yes,
Whoa.
the first Women of Honor world champion, Sumi Sakai.
Yes, who I believe works. I don't. She still wrestles from time to time, but she works with New Japan in helping their talent when they're coming over to the United States,
Mhm.
and she's like a
Oh.
broker with them. So I think she's even
Broker and a translator.
yeah, like she's a guide.
Yeah,
Guide. Yep.
Basically, what Sonny Ono was back in the '90s.
exactly.
Mm.
But no, yeah,
Exactly.
Sumi Sakai is like the nicest woman ever.
Oh, she is. She's a sweetheart. I remember
Yeah,
we went to a GCW show down at Atlantic
Atlantic
City.
City. Yep, and Cheeseburger was
She
there with her.
tied for Jun Kasai, the
Yes,
crazy monkey,
yes,
who, by the way, is a very nice guy. He's cool as hell.
yes.
Crazy as the day is long, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
But my thing with Deanna is I want to go to an AEW show and I want to get up like front row seats. And I want to have her pass by, maybe stop by in front of me. I don't want to look her dead in the face and say, "Hey, that scar, you can barely see that scar under your eye."
I would say it would be better to say, "I got the stitches ready for next time."
Oh gosh.
And
But
I
no,
want
yeah.
to see the look on her face when I say that to her about the scar. Because the
Yeah.
next time I saw her was at wasn't a Jersey All Pro show, it was a Pro Wrestling Magic show.
Mm.
Ooh.
I was working that show because I was at another show in Rahway, and Casey Catal took the knee to the face, broke her nose,
Mm.
and they had no medical whatsoever. So I ran to the back. And they're like, "Where the hell is this guy going?" And I told them I was an EMT, and they were like, "Okay." So I checked her out. I said, "Yeah, you need to go." I looked her dead in the face and said, "Your nose is broken. You might have a concussion. You're starting to get the raccoon eyes. You need to go." I also saw
Exactly.
Casey at the next show, and which was only about 2 weeks later,
Right. Hmm.
and she was still wearing the sunglasses
Oh shit.
because she still had the bit of raccoon eyes.
Oh boy.
She's now known as, she goes by both names, Casey Catal and Casey Kirk,
Mm.
because she's married to Brandon,
Yes.
who's another crazy motherfucker. But then again, to
Are we
work for
surprised?
GCW, you have to be a crazy motherfucker.
Yep. It's GCW, folks.
Yep.
So I don't know how much time we're gonna have left here.
We keep going. That's a sad.
Yeah,
thing.
since we already hit the hour mark.
And there's
I
so
will-
many more women to get.
Yeah, there's so many to name.
Yeah.
So I do want to at least name these two before we go, and especially specifically for me because it's still, I consider it one of, if not the greatest women's match I've ever seen live.
Shoot.
My former crush, because it was the capping of, I would say, a year or at least a year and a half long story. For those, I am talking about, one is currently in AEW, who we've mentioned before, the new TBS champion, Mercedes Moné, and her best friend in the world, Bailey.
Okay.
And
Bailey, yeah.
I would want to bring you back to that magical night in Brooklyn.
Oh, yes.
First ever NXT takeover to take place outside of
Full Sail.
Full Sail, yes. And it was probably the second or third ever NXT show outside of Florida.
Wasn't that 2015?
Yes, it was 2015. Did I say something else?
No. I'm just clarifying with myself because I didn't hear you.
Jeez. Thanks for wow. Oh my god, that's almost 9 years ago already. Insane it's been that long. But yeah, it was the first ever NXT takeover outside of Full Sail. It was like the third or fourth ever NXT show outside of Florida. And even though the main event was Kevin Owens and Finn Balor in a ladder match for the NXT title,
The
the
ladies
match
stole
then-
the show.
without a doubt, and it had the biggest story going into that night because, like I said, it'd been a whole year and a half story of could Bayley win the bigger one?
Yes.
Mhm.
Because Charlotte had won the title at when Paige vacated the title after moving up to the main roster, which you probably won't remember this. Guess who was the GM that vacated her? JBL. No,
JBL.
before Regal. It was JBL.
Yeah, but my mic was friggin' muted. I said JBL.
Yeah, JBL was NXT GM. If you could fucking believe that for some reason.
Yeah, I barely remember that one.
But yeah, so Charlotte. I forgot what her next take because she had a match. She won the title versus Natalia, and then the next pay per view or takeover was against Bayley. And it was an incredible match, but she lost. And I remember they ran an angle turning Charlotte face after the match because then Sasha Banks had, did a post run in, and because it was like a post show. That's what I remember. It was like a post show, and they had Bayley come out, do an interview, and a whole angle. Then they did the women's 4-way. If you remember that, because that was a good match too. I believe it's the only time that the 4 horsewomen were in a title match against each other. It was NXT, not 4-way. I forgot what it was called. It was like Unbreakable or some shit. But yeah, it was Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha, and Bayley, and Sasha won that. So goes on her title run, which was a very good title run. Bayley somewhere along the line got hurt, and then came back, and then had a strong summer, and we're building the whole Bayley versus Sasha. Can Bayley do it? Can Bayley finally win the big one? And man, what a fucking match they had!
Oh my god.
Like the 2 moments that I remember from that match, with 3 moments, like clear as day, was the first one was Bayley was on the outside, like holding her arm, and I remember the ref was like leaning over the ropes, about shouting something, and then you see Sasha go from one way to the other way and does this suicida dive. That was insane. And then the second thing I remember, I don't remember ever seeing this again. Sasha had Bayley in the bank statement, the the face.
Yeah.
And Bayley was going for the rope, like out with her arm.
Oh, where she stomped on her hand.
Stomped on it. I'm like, yo, I've never seen that, and I don't think I've seen it since.
And that was after she had her arm pinned inside the
The
stairs.
steel
against the
care,
ring,
yeah.
kicked
Which
the
was
stairs.
that because that was right after the suicida.
Yeah.
And then the third thing I'm never gonna forget is that finish, man. Because like that was like the one time where I actually believed again. I was a true fan. The belief was suspended. And because I remember she hit like a reverse Frankensteiner off the top rope, Bayley. Which is like something
Yes.
she would never fucking do.
Yeah, she did the poison Rana from the top rope. Yeah.
Yeah. And fucking Sasha takes the craziest fucking bump ever. And you see Bayley, like she stands up, serious as hell, does the hair thing, hits the Bailey to belly, and I'm having goosebumps right now. I'm not sure if you could see it, but I have legit goosebumps remembering
Believe it.
that crowd because I remember I legitimately got up out my fucking seat and like screaming like yeah, like she was actually gonna do it, and then just 1, 2, 3, and just the whole arena goes insane, myself included.
Oh, I
That
remember
was-
that. Yeah, I remember that match. That was one of the matches that I had to monitor when I worked. When I
Yeah,
monitored the WWE Network.
yes, but man, being there, I'm so happy I was at that. I went to 5 takeovers, pretty much all in a row. They were all in Brooklyn. That match is probably my favorite match. Still, such a wonderful match, such an insane match, and that because I was waiting for that moment too. I was waiting because I remember every time I'd turn on NXT and Bailey be in a championship match and she'd lose, and I would be disappointed. And then to actually be there for when she actually conquered the mountain, she climbed the mountain, she actually won the title, she actually did it, and I was there inside that arena. Man, like still 9 years later, still getting goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have an incredible rematch, the Iron Woman match, which is the debut of Izzy, the Bailey superfan. But I don't think their main roster matches were on the same level as their NXT matches.
I'll tend to agree with you on that one.
Mm.
I think
It
the main
happens.
problem with that is that Sasha got comfortable with being on the main roster.
I think it was a lot of still having to deal with Vince McMahon. And still Vince McMahon not allowing them to take the same risks that they took in NXT. Because it was a lot of Vince McMahon wanting them to do something that no one wanted to do.
Right.
I mean, that's why Sasha Banks had a lot of frustrations on the creative side. And even with Bailey and Ronda and Charlotte and Becky, because they had to deal with Vince McMahon, who was extremely stubborn,
And sexist.
sexist, homophobic, xenophobic. You could list. He was a fucking horrible human being.
Vince had more phobias than a mental patient.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there. I got
You would have
tired.
made Sigmund Freud wonder why he got into psychiatry.
Mm-hmm.
Hannibal
But,
Lecter would have been like, "I'm walking away."
Yeah, no, that guy's nuts.
Yeah, really. Even Clarice would have walked away.
All right, so does anybody have any more names out there that
Oh, I
they
mean,
want to mention?
I have a match, and this is from the Jersey
Go ahead.
Pro Wrestling Files when we were in the Arts Factory. ODB versus Lufisto in the last woman standing match.
ODB.
Ooh, yes, ODB, a slugger.
These ladies literally fucked each other up, and
Yeah.
I mean, and you know me, I always have my connections. I always had the front row seat, no matter where I was, and I'm like, I see a table. I hope no one goes through that, because that should be a tough bump. You know, it was just one. It was probably the greatest last women's standing match I'd ever seen, and let me tell you, I love Lufisto. I love ODB. They put on one hell of a match. If anyone out there you have to see one. You can always just look it up, or you can go. I don't know the website, or it's on the indie.
Super Indie?
Wrestling. It should be on Super Indie. Under Jersey Pro Wrestling, just look up the Women's Revolution.
You know what it's probably under? High Spots. I know high. I don't know. Actually, don't know if High Spots has the network anymore. Um, or it might be High Spots TV.
Probably TV.
Yeah. Because they consolidated a lot. I don't know if they have the purchasable stuff. But yeah, no, yeah, it's one of those, like either High Spots or Independent Wrestling TV or one of those. They definitely have the Jersey All Pro stuff.
Mm.
Because if I remember correctly, there was a bar under the Arts Factory, if I'm correct, back then. Um, and I walked down there just because I just wanted to say hi to ODB and just have a chat real quick. Because TNA, I was a big TNA watcher at the time, and I just I liked her, and I'm like, you okay? And it's like, yeah, I'm okay. You want a drink? I'm like, I'm not 21 yet.
Oh, she was absolutely like that. Because she actually runs a taco stand now. I think it's
Yes, it's Taco.
Nice.
Okay.
And ODB was one of the nicest people. I mean, Lufisto is nice too. That's why, when I found out what's going on, I immediately shared it. And
Mhm.
I think I shared it with the Brain, I think, at one time too.
Yeah, I remember you sharing that with me.
And, those are two Jersey Pro Wrestling women that weren't mentioned, and I felt that they should have been mentioned. And then there's another Japanese woman I found. Her name was Megumi Kudo.
I think I
remember that
know
one.
you. Yeah.
Did you mention her already?
No,
We
but I
didn't
remember-
mention her, but no, yeah, we know who you're talking about.
She wrestled for Frontier
Well-
Martial Arts Wrestling.
Oh, FMW, yes.
FMW.
I loved FMW. I loved those, especially when she wrestled with Shark.
Yes. Those, see, FMW, like, you want to think about the extremest matches you can do, FMW had it.
Shark.
Mhm.
How you say her last name? Suchiya. Sounds that?
Tsuchiya. Shark Tsuchiya.
Yeah. I as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, this is like literally. And I remember watching the match too because I had the FMW DVD where they have the fake the rip off of this guy with the chainsaw, whatever his name is, Leatherface.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have it right here. Although it's a watch along with some dude.
It was a no ropes, barbed wire, double landmine, glass crush death match.
Oh, okay, because I found
Oh, normal GCW match.
Yeah, pretty much.
I found the no ropes barbed wire current explosion barricade double hell death.
I never saw that one. I remember seeing that one that was in '97 because
Mm.
I just so like I would go to these garage sales and I would see all these FMW stuff and I'm like, you know what? This shit's fucking awesome. I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna keep watching it. So what I used to do is I used to go home right before I went to bed, pop the DVD in,
Mhm.
and I literally was watching that whole DVD. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is the wrestling I like. But I also felt bad for Shark and Kudo because men are afraid to do that match, and they did that match like it was freaking easy as hell.
See, that was the thing about FMW though. You had to be one of the sick son of a bitches to work that company because especially in those early days, those were the type of matches that were consistently being done. And if you want to see a proper exploding death match, that's where you go. FMW.
Yeah, you don't watch the AEW one because then they just do they just do that cheesy shit.
Well, I mean, you got to fucking hire the right pyro company.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm being a
Yeah.
smartass. I was trying to be
You gotta
funny there,
have, you
Vincent.
gotta hire Grucci.
Yeah, listen. If you want to have sarcasm, it's not gonna work on me because it goes right over my head.
Okay, Peanut.
What about
Eh.
Beetlejuice?
I know Beetlejuice.
Bullshit.
Lester?
So what?
Oh, I know him.
Oh no way! You really know him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh shit!
dude, he's from Jersey City.
I know that, but like
He-
he's been
he-
living in
he-
Georgia
he-
for like the last 20 years.
He literally used to go to Power all the time when Rooney had the boxing ring
Yes,
in the gym.
yes, because he would do boxing, especially in Bayonne.
And he used to piss me the fuck off.
Of course, of course.
I think one day I started egging him on. I think
Oh,
I
That's what you do.
but we're getting away from the topic real quick. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say don't make me call Jeff Jarrett and hit you in the head with a guitar again.
Bad.
Bad.
But yeah. So there's two more women that I think that we should discuss too. And when these ladies main evented Raw. We mentioned their names, but we never really gave them their due respect. Trish and Lita.
The two of the stalwarts of the women's divisions.
Icons.
Yes,
The
legends.
real iconics.
Although it pisses me off how Lita got her retirement match. That still pisses me off to this day. Even though she was in a whole lot of controversy, she didn't deserve that.
No, I agree with you with what that segment with the prime time.
Yeah.
I mean, albeit I thought it was funny at the time because, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah, I did too.
and then you rewatch it and like, yeah, it's not that funny anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
especially when you learn the reason behind it is because she retired, but they still wanted her to work for like a certain amount of time, but she didn't want to. So they did that as a way to humiliate her on the way out.
So yeah, so
Usual bullshit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We call bullshit.
let's talk about Trish's involvement at WrestleMania 17 with the Shane McMahon Vince McMahon street fight. Where Linda McMahon literally rose up from a wheelchair, pointed at Vince McMahon, and just freaking right into freaking grapefruits.
Yeah. Talk about a pop.
Yeah.
Shit, that's because everyone likes Linda, but she really tries not to do anything wrong. And
Uh-huh.
Linda, I'm talking about wrestling wise, not
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say
get
at that
pop.
time they liked her. But
That's
no, I
awesome.
know what you mean.
But
Hey, Kush.
Yeah. What's up?
Let's hear your last one before we call it a night.
Yeah.
I know y'all been talking about a whole lot of people, and you just mentioned, man, one of the ones I had in mind, and Trish Stratus. So let me just think about this just real quick. Have anybody even mentioned Molly Holly at all?
No.
No.
Okay,
good.
then.
There you
Okay,
go. Good one.
good. Yeah, Molly Holly. You talk about another unsung hero, man, that didn't really truly receive her just due. She definitely was one of the staples in the old, first brand station with the women's division. You talk about Trish, you talk about Lita, you talk about Jazz, talk about Jacqueline, talk about Victoria. She was the one right there that definitely kept things moving as a heel. And the funny thing about it was she wasn't really being a heel. She was like the female Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or CM Punk. She was being booed for being good and having standards.
Yeah.
She didn't want to wear those thongs. She didn't want to wear those bikinis and stuff that most of them did anyway back then and all that. She actually had standards. She actually held herself above that and still was one of the more better, consistent performers and ring generals and stuff in other women's division. No matter what feud she was in, whether it was with Trish most notably or against Victoria, she even went out of her way to make their match mean something by having her hair completely shaved off at WrestleMania 20.
I was
Uh-huh.
gonna.
When I found out that she did that, I was like, good for her. Even though it was that her embarrassment in front of the whole wide world,
Yeah.
she did that for the sake of women's wrestling and just for them to have a match on the show.
Yes, I
That's-
was about to bring that up too because I remember hearing that and like my view of her completely changed because she did that to get that title on that show. And she
Yeah,
was
they
like,
were about
"I
to go
will
to cancel
shave
it.
my hair." Yeah, so I will always have
crazy.
respect for her for that.
Yeah, that was about to just straight that and not have any women's match at all, which is crazy to me at WrestleMania. But she did that, and I never got it. You know, I mean, the match was decent. It could have been more better, but that moment right there will definitely stick out my mind among all the rest of stuff, man, that happened in that event. That's saying a lot. That's
Mhm.
one of the more famous WrestleManias of all time.
Mhm.
But yeah, she did that, and now she's still helping now with women's division behind the scenes, producing. Even I think go down there to the performance center by helping them, learn their craft and skills.
Yeah,
So, and I heard she's a very nice and polite woman and stuff though too. And she's
I've heard
never
that
really
too.
done anything wrong to anybody. She's always done things by the book. Really being a true devoted, ring general stuff as you could say behind the scenes. She was absolutely professional in every sense of the
Mhm.
word. Even when she was Molly and all that stuff, just a little thing she did creative wise will definitely show me and stuff, man, just how, all around she is. And she's
Mhm.
definitely one of the true gems and stuff, man. Other women's division back then, looking back at it now, one of the unsung heroes.
Mhm. Absolutely agree. And I think we mentioned it last time. She was the only one that I remembered that was on the original Glow. Yeah, she was on the original Glow. Nope, sorry.
Come on,
I got it.
Ivory.
Yeah, I got it mixed up. It was Ivory. My bad.
Come on, Steiner. You had one job.
And I lost it on Thursday.
That went dark quick.
Yeah. So, does anybody else have any more names?
I mean, I do, but
I think we could hold off and pick this up next week.
Exactly.
Yep.
part do we?
Well, part three.
Part Trey, I should say.
Part today.
Part 2.1.
No, part 2.57437773.
This ain't pie.
I was gonna say the best thing comes in threes, but I realized on a episode about all women that might not be the best thing.
Maybe not.
No.
Maybe. Some things just better left unsaid.
Gentlemen, always good show.
Yes,
Mm,
wonderful.
I think we will keep going with the women who shaped wrestling from the 90s to the present next week.
I think we
Agreed.
could
have
do a
so
free
so many more to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But there's just so many women who've done so much for the industry, and you got to show them the respect.
Yes.
And
Oh yeah,
we
they
have
definitely paved the way. They definitely, like I said, you wouldn't have much wrestling and stuff without them. I mean, it's definitely gotten better stuff over the past 2 decades, and I feel like it's still going to be going, even further on, man. Too 20 years later.
Yeah,
I
and
really
we
do
haven't
because some of the women
we
today.
haven't even talked about the current crop of stars that are busting their asses right now. We haven't even
We haven't
really
talked.
touched them. So I
No,
think
we haven't
next
touched
week
the surface
that's
on
where
it
we're
yet.
going. We're going to the current era.
Hell yeah,
We covered the
I'll be
90s
there
and the
for it.
2000s and up to the 2010s pretty well.
Yes,
But
sir.
beyond that, man, all hell about to break loose with next week's episode.
Oh, we got a
I got
lot.
myself a list already in my mind.
I got a list of people
I
in my
got a
mind
list
too.
already in my mind, dog. Yeah. Let's do it.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, RPM, bring your video up. All right, gentlemen. Again, great show. Kush, thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
And I like Jack in the
And
Box, but I was here for a little bit.
Yeah,
It's all good,
and
man.
as always, till next week.
Keep
Too
it
sweet.
tight.